What's up, YouTube's PJ Chess here. Today I have four tournament games I want to show you. I go to college. I play in the CCL, which is the Collegiate Chess League. It's 5+2 games, and it's a 4v4 round robin. If you see my account, I actually posted this video yesterday, but the audio is bad, so hopefully today the audio is a lot better, and you actually get to hear me go over the games and thought process. So my team, we actually ended up losing. If you saw in the thumbnail, 8.5 to 7.5, but I went 4-0. So I want to show you those games. Before we get started, I hope you can subscribe, like, I did not mean to say I hope, but please subscribe, like, share, and do all of the metrics that help my account grow if you enjoyed the content. So let's go to the first game. It actually, so for me, since I'm first board, it gets progressively harder. So it's kind of funny that my first game was actually my hardest game. You saw 76% accuracy. Did not play particularly well against them, and I like the middle two games I played very well. As you can see, 93 and 89 in the last game. Not too good, not too bad. 79%. It's mid. But yeah, they go d4, I go d5. They go bishop f4, pawn to e6, pawn to e3, and knight here to f6. So after knight to f6, you know, I'm plus 5 minutes, and this is move 3. I'm feeling a little nervous. Whenever I play a tournament, I feel nervous, honestly. Even when I'm a higher rating, I don't know what it is. I just feel a little worried. And this is the game I'm supposed to win, because obviously, for me as first board, it's going to get progressively harder. So you want to take care of the games that should be the easiest, theoretically, although rating is not the only indicator of that. I go bishop here to e7, they go pawn to c3, I castle, bishop d3, pawn to b6, bishop here, and then h4. Now here I'm like, whoa, what did I do here? I don't love that they get this attack. This is the one thing, because the last week, actually, this is not the first time we played, I didn't record a video because I did so bad. And it was because I was messing up in the opening, and they were playing things that were offbeat. Maybe not good, but they weren't like just playing like a boring opening. They were all playing quite aggressively, even though they were lower rated than me, and it caught me off guard. So here when they did this, for a split second, I'm like, but then I know on a king side attack, it doesn't work really if I don't have a pawn on h6. I played against it. Opposite side castling is a very big weakness of mine, but because of that, I do know some of the ways to stop it, and it's by not having the pawn here on h6, the hook for them to sacrifice or push their pawn down. So because I didn't have this, I'm not too worried yet, and as you can see by the time usage, I didn't spend too much time before moving my knight. I go h5, I go pawn to c5, still I'm not too worried, and I go pawn here to c4, and again, not using too much time. Now b5 is the first in accuracy. I was playing pretty intelligently, but this was not the best move. h6 was better, and to be honest with you, I just don't think I would have ever played it because I've lost games because of it, and that's why chess is frustrating sometimes, because games previously where something doesn't work, it should be what works in this game, but it's hard to get over that mental hurdle because it didn't work another game, because I've lost games from playing this. I think it does. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. The reason I think it works now, just from a human perspective, a human level, is they can't easily push their pawn to g4 because of the knight. And then there's no bishop here to go sack. So even if they were to get it in, they don't have enough pieces, is my thought process. And maybe there's a counterattack. But even as I'm talking about it, I don't know if I could have defended it. Maybe the computer could have, but maybe it's a little bit too much for me. But I go a5, they go g4, I go pawn here to b4. Now, g4 is a mistake, but it's one of those mistakes that I respect them playing because I felt the pressure, honestly. Now, I did spend 5 seconds, which at this point is a lot of time being used considering how quick I was moving, because it made me think. I should have taken the knight. Let's actually show that. I should have done the best move, which is knight captures here. Didn't really see it. I didn't think it made sense because of that, but I was wrong in that. They go g5, I go knight forward, they push to g6, and I'm still not that worried because I captured the knight. I did spend some time here, but I'm like, okay, I can't take any of the pawns. The issue I saw of taking the pawn is because they just get the file, and that didn't make sense. And then with here is now, I do get an open file, but these 3, or what would be 2 pawns, are going to complete. Actually, I think I don't lose a pawn, but it'd just be very weak. Here, this file would still open up, I'm pretty sure, so that's why I decided not to take first. So I take the knight, they take the pawn, and I take the pawn. Now, I did consider going king over, and let's see, I'm pretty sure I spent a decent amount of time. Yeah, I spent 5 seconds, which again, for this time control, or the way that I'm playing, is a larger chunk of time, because it really means I spent 7 seconds based off of the plus. So I did spend a decent amount of time on this. Again, 7 seconds is not a lot, but considering I was spending like no seconds on some of them. The reason I decided not to go king to h8 is because I thought I was being too fancy. I thought I was being overthinking or overdoing it, trying to be cool. I thought this was the best move though, but I talked myself out of it, and I wish I didn't. Because I was like, well, I don't want to take. I thought it was me taking them not serious, and not that it was actually the best move. and it ended up being the best move that I just missed on playing. But they take the knight. I think that's take the knight. Yeah, they take the knight. I go pawn at f5. Horrible move. My thought process was, well, I don't want to say horrible. It wasn't the best move. But what I missed here at some point was that if they were to have taken this knight, then this pawn falls, if you could see that. So I go f5, so when they take the knight now, I can do this. So it's not horrible, but it's not the best. They have a miss here with h6. I go g6, which is the best move. Weak trade here, and I'm actually winning. But to be honest with you, it doesn't really feel like I am while I was playing the game. Now, take a second to imagine how I'm feeling right now. I'm the first board, this is the fourth board. Right now, my king feels, although it isn't, feels quite weak. And remember, I'm not playing the game with this evaluation bar, so it feels like they have this file, this bishop, this queen can rotate easily. Now, these are obviously like 5 or 6 moves, but this is all that's going through my head. I'm like, I have to win. I can't draw, is my thought. Oh, obviously I don't do that. My thought was like, I can't draw, so I'm feeling the pressure. They go bishop here, and I make a mistake. And now, just like that, and that's how sharp the position was as well, was one mistake. And I was playing a little bit differently. I think I'm someone who knows you don't always need to defend when you're attacked, maybe sometimes trade. But I'm like trying to keep every piece on board because I need to win. Like, I can't lose this game because it's going to get harder and harder. And then my board 4 is playing their board 1. So like that's a rating discrepancy in itself. So I'm just not playing the best. I'm not making an excuse like I didn't play good, but I'm just also explaining some of the reasons why I was on the board not doing good and mentally like just overthinking. It was still some bad play. Not that it excuses it, more just an explanation since like talking through my thoughts. But they queenside castle. I go bishop here to d7. Another move. It's like, it's not bad, but it's not amazing. They go rook here to, is that g1? Pawn that to a4. Bishop here to, what is this? h4. Wow, I'm getting the files wrong. This is h4, this is a4. h5. Wow, excuse me. But yeah, this is brilliancy. I didn't even consider, let's see, in this 16 seconds, because it's +2, that they went here. Not once, not even calculate why that was bad. I just knew it was bad because it got the file, so I didn't even think about it. I dropped my bishop back, bring their queen over, and actually I'm winning here if I simply move my rook over. The reason I decided not to is what I saw was rook here, bishop here, but apparently that is fine. Oh, assuming, okay, rook, they want to go, say they go there, and then it's saying I go queen b6. Okay, and now there. I thought this was bad, but it's saying that I basically have a queenside attack. So it was a counter attack. It wasn't like I had a defense here, but I break through on the wrong pawn. We take, give a check when I should have brought my queen there. Yeah, just bad decisions. And then I blunder. This blunder, when I played this, I didn't even realize it after I played it. I realized it after they took the rook, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, this, what am I doing? My fears came to real life after not having a good tournament last week. And this game, I'm feeling like I have to win. It was very bad. And I go queen here. Another move. Just bad. Because now, as you can see, my bishop has no squares to go to. And I actually have to end up making a move. Whatever. Like, it, beyond the fact, they could have taken, but I'm just playing bad right now. These last 3 moves. But they could have taken, wait, what are they? My bishop. I have to move my queen. And here they could have taken the pawn. And I'm just not playing good in these last 3 moves. But after this trade, I slowed the game down. I'm not messing up quite as much. I'm avoiding trading. And here, what was the best move, I feel, was queen here. Now, if they played this, I think they win the game. But maybe that's why they're around 1479. Because even though they're winning, their way of simplifying, they may feel more comfortable with the pieces on the board. Whereas me, now obviously I got to this losing position, but had I been on the white side, I think 100 out of 100 times would have went queen here. I love to simplify. I think when you simplify, it's just a lot easier, even if you get more material here. And that's what they probably should have done, because while it is bad, I do have some attack, and especially the square they decide to go to. Now, if they take with the bishop, which is the best move, they still have this option of the checkmate in 1 and forcing the queen trade, so that would have been fine. But the issue of taking with the queen, now I get why they did it. They want to attack the bishop, and still, they're -4. So this is like kind of nitpicking, but they do end up losing, and I just think it would have been easier to do it another way. The problem here is there is no immediate check threat. Like, they're 2 moves away from checkmate. They no longer can get to this square. They see you have to move like a knight to get there. And it's a queen. So they do run into some issues. They can attack. But again, after I go a3, now this is not some genius idea. It is to go for simple checks. I'm probably going to lose anyways. But I wouldn't have that had to have queen traded. And this is why they end up losing, because they just mess up. They go rook over. I give a check. Queen, king back. queen over, because again, I'm like, this attack that I went for just runs out because the rook gets over. Now, ideally, I could slide over, but still, they're one move away from doing anything. Now, again, if they just go here, I'm pretty sure it's still game over, because this is still checkmate in one, so I'd have to stay, and I can't get my bishop back. So they still messed up from that point, but had the queen's been traded earlier, this would have been easier, and they just blundered. So it's not like this game, I played some type of amazing position, they end up messing up, and I get the win. Now let's get to game 2, the game where I did play very well with a 93% accuracy. Very proud of this game, and it felt like I was cruising. I go d4, they go knight to f6, bishop to f4, pawn to g6, pawn to e3, bishop g7, and I'm kind of speeding through this part because this is all stuff I'm very comfortable with, and it's not too much to think about. I'm playing in London, they're playing, I guess, the King's Indian Defense. I castle, they go rook over, bishop back. We'll never fall for this trick again because of e5. It will never happen again. I can guarantee you that. I just have lost more games than I'm willing to admit because of that simple tactic, and it just is not, I will not fall for it. But they go b6, they finish out the bishop, I bring my knight, we trade in the center, and draw my bishop back. Now bishop c4 was a better move, and I actually usually play bishop c4 in this position, and it's kind of, again, I talked about this a little bit earlier, like the psychology of chess. Like, I think it's so much more like a sport than people give it credit for. I know, it's played on a board. Last week, we played different teams, we played different colleges. Last week, I lost the game because, well, not because I went bishop c4, I actually ended up blundering, but I blundered in a position where I chose to go bishop c4 versus playing more passively. Now here, and actually in the last game too, bishop c4 was the best move. It was more the follow-up was the issue. But because I didn't play the correct follow-up last time, I decided to not go for it this time. And I go bishop e2. They go queen here to e7, pawn to a4, and this is the first move I played, even in the game. Like, I see this inaccuracy now, this is the first inaccuracy of the game. I knew in the game this was so bad as soon as I played it. Now, obviously, when I played it, did not know it was bad, but I realized after. The reason I felt it was so bad, because knight here, which they play, it just does not make any sense why I did this. My thought process, I can't even really explain it. I know I need to move my queen, and why I chose b3 over c2, I think because they're in some positions you do play queen b3, and I think I moved quick. I'm sort of in, like, what is the word? It's something mode, like autopilot, I guess, and I just go to what I usually play. But this really is bad. Like, it doesn't make any sense that I decided to do this. And they punish it with knight c5. I draw my queen back to c2, where it should have been in the first place. I mean, they're knight 4. I trade, move my queen back to b3, offer bishop trade. And here I thought I actually messed up, and I was pretty mad at myself because of this. Or not, I thought I messed up. I did mess up. Because this position, I'm just not a huge fan. This is not losing. You see the eval bar. It's only minus 0.31 or 0.33. It's minus 3, give or take a little bit. It's not a huge deal, but I didn't love it. But now we trade pieces, and I like my position all of a sudden. The reason I like my position is because this is weak. This is a knight jump I was looking at even then, and I ended up doing it. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. When they go d5, e4, I don't know what is up with me in squares right now. I will say, for a short time, I considered going there. The reason I chose not to go here is because its escape hatches involve trading the knight, which I didn't really want to do because I thought it was a good piece. But now, if I have to, well, I'm still throwing in the fork, like, because this, if I would have gone here, I love arrows. I'm still throwing in the fork there if I was there. But here, I have escape hatches if I ever need to leave. Now, why would I? I don't think I would. But just as an example, I think it's a little bit better. If something that I did not foresee came about, I have somewhere to run with my knight. When they go pawn to c5, they actually end up messing up. It's a mistake to run to this fork. I take the rook, offer a rook trade. I double up on the file. Then I triple up after I trade. They offer this knight trade. I think I should have kept it, but I think I would have lost anyway. So it's hard to say, like, oh, you should have done, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm up this exchange, and I control this file. They don't have any compensation. I offer the queen trade. I attack the rook, the queen trade, and I offer this. Take some pawns. You can see I'm just not taking or letting them take back this game. I trade everything I can. Yeah, and here, after... Oh yeah, this is something else I thought was kind of funny. I realized my king was better on e2, so I just go back. I'm like, why am I going to do this? And then I push f3 eventually. Yeah, I break, and now my king can run if it was necessary. But it ends up not being necessary. And this is the game. I think they let me checkmate them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Speeding up, because you could imagine, this is just not super interesting right now. Make sure I don't stalemate, and that's that game. So that's game 2. And I'm 2-0 at this point. But in my head, I'm like, well, again, I had a bad tournament last time. It's going to get progressively harder. I played the two easiest players, and I struggled with the easiest. So I'm not too confident, even though I am 2-0 at this point. I'm like, I can still go 2-2, which is now what you want to do is the first board. The first board, like, you want it to be, I think the word is proportional. Like, I should win all 4 games. Theoretically, you want me to win all 4. You want board 3 to win 3 or so games. And you want board 2 to win 3 or so games. You want board 3 or 4 to win together about 2. Like, so I should be the constant factor because I should be better theoretically than the other 3 boards for sure, and hopefully I can beat their top board. So that's the idea. And if it goes in a perfect scenario, so I'm like, I have to win my games 2-2. For if I was the third board, that's cool. Just don't lose, because the top 2 should create the advantage, and I just need to hold it. But in this position, I'm the one who should be creating the advantage. So I think I explained that well. So I want to make sure I win every game. But yeah, they played a similar opening, and I was kind of thrown off. But it's funny how chess works, because you can see, I'm kind of speeding through. They play a different move here. Like, the other person didn't play e5 till a lot later. They played it on move 10. The other person played it on move, what is that, 17 or 18 or so. It was definitely a bit of a difference. But I go knight here to d4. They go pawn to c5. And this is just game over automatically. When they did this, I was like pretty excited. You see my time. I'm just kind of flowing. And I go knight here to b5. Almost after 2 seconds. It was kind of a no-brainer. I didn't even fully understand the scope of it. I realized after I can go there. I honestly was just looking at that knight move when I moved it. And then after I did, I was like, oh, I have this too. Or no. I saw one of them. I didn't see the other. I can't remember anymore. But I did see one of them. But they end up blundering that. It doesn't even matter. Because they go knight here. Now, whatever they did, they would have lost. But this, I would say, is the simplest. Because I just queen trade and take the knight. So now I'm just up a middle piece to start the game. Which is actually how some of my games went the last tournament we played in. So I understand. I go knight here to c7. They move the rook out the way. I trade the knight for the bishop. I have the bishop pair, and they have these isolated weaknesses. This game is going quite smoothly. I trade bishops. I go pawn here to c3, knight here to c4, and knight back. Now, this is the first move I played where I kind of like was assuming they'd mess up. Or not mess up, assuming they didn't want to do this, because they could have done this, actually. And now it's a discovered attack on this knight. And I can take that, and they can go rook in. Now, I'm still winning. But if you're not looking at the eval bar, this does look a lot worse than previously set. Because now, how would I go about? Like, I guess I have to go rook over. What is the best move? Yeah, rook fe1. But then they just go rook c2. And it's saying a4 is the best. Oh, because of that. Wow. I didn't calculate all that. It didn't look good, so I wasn't a fan. But I didn't know what else to do. So I decided to do that. And they ended up not doing it. And it doesn't matter. Because when I go rook over, the game's over. There's no more initiative. They have these weaknesses, and I will take advantage of them. They go c4. I go knight to f1. King over. Trade rooks. Offer another rook trade. And they get off the file. And they should have went rook here to, what is this, d5. Kind of hard to be mad at them or judge them for not playing it. I think that's a lot harder to play than the computer realizes, as you're trading off the piece. Now, obviously, the problem here, this is the problem. The bigger issue is you're down a bishop. So you don't want to trade more pieces down. As when you're down, you want to keep pieces on the board. I got knight here to g3 to put pressure on this, and I'm looking to reroute the bishop eventually, which I will do. This arrow and this arrow, yeah. But I go rook forward, which is a move doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And after I played it, I was like, well, they could just go e5, and they do. And I was like, why did I just do that? That was pretty dumb. But I drop my rook back. They go pawn forward. I go pawn to a3. They go pawn to h6. Now, they probably should have went h5, what they were trying to do, because I go bishop back. And they're trying to, you see, go there. But they could have just, if I'm not mistaken, just gone here first. But then I guess I could go h4. So maybe it was more like make it look sneakier. I don't know. It doesn't matter anyways. I go bishop here. So now they want to move too slow. If they were to have gone here, I can just move the knight there. And now I have there. And it could just stay here after f3. Or even just stay there without f3. There's no pawn that can really kick it out the way. But they go b4. We trade pawns here. They attack. Knight takes. Rook takes. And this is something for me personally. I don't like to trade off all the pawns on one side of the board. Because now, would I still be winning with these 4 versus these 3 in the bishop advantage? Yeah. But I think it's a lot easier for them to have a concentrated weakness to it, a concentrated thing to defend and attack, versus having to guard 2 flanks of the board when I have more pieces. And a piece that's literally what its strength is to attack 2 sides of the board. But I trade knights. My bishop here. Is it a wooden shield or an outpost? I can't remember. But it can't be removed by a pawn. So this beautiful square. I realize, could they have just gone? I'm looking at it now. Was this not good? Oh, wait, no. Because what? Rook d6 check. Oh, okay. So that was the issue. It works, but not really. But yeah, I push the pawns. I get their pawn stuff on a light square. They go king here, bishop back attacking the pawn, rook down. And my favorite move I found this game, maybe you can see it, pause real quick, bishop e2. Bishop e2, because I could have just taken, this is still winning, for a move order that I don't want to go through again, because I did go through it already. On the other, actually, I'll go through it. This works because after bishop back, rook takes, I can just takes, here, and then you can imagine, like, this is still winning. But I give up the bishop, and in my mind, I was trying not to give up anything. So when I go bishop e2, I'm attacking this, I'm attacking this. So whenever they defend, the other one falls. So if they go there, I go there, and then if they come back here, I don't remember what they did. I can go there. So and they don't have this move because now they'd have to go back before they could get over there again. So I thought that was a cool little nuance I played. They go king over, I give a check, I go back again, putting pressure on this here. You know, king d5, I take, and they just resign here. They're down 3 pawns and a bishop. Not much they could do, and the only pawn will very soon be stuck on a light square. So yeah, they decide to resign that game. And going to the final one, I'm up 3, not up, I'm 3-0, and I'm feeling good, and we get to the final game. This game is some ups and downs, if you can see by the evaluation bar. Neither of us played very good. We both played very mid for the first boards playing against each other. And this person actually went 2-2 and their team won. They got bailed out. But yeah, if they're watching this video, don't mean bailed out is a bad thing. It happens to all of us. I've sold before as well. But yeah, you can see they lost 2 straight games against I'm the first board and then the second board on the game. And they actually played better against them than I did. This game was crazy. Maybe I'll show that too, actually, because it was a pretty crazy game. But yeah, I'm pulling this up to show they were actually 2,200 at the start of this tournament, so it says 1,900. They really like the strength of this, but they probably just haven't played in a while. They've touched 2,200 before, but they lost to a 1,500, so they lost about, 100 or so points, and they lost to me, who was 60 points lower, so they lost almost 70 points here. Just showing that very quickly. And let's go back to the game. Game review is working weird, so I have to get to it in a very odd fashion. So give me 1 sec. Yeah, we go to analysis, and then game review. Yeah, it's broken on my computer. Maybe on everyone's. Yeah. Here's the game. They go e4, I go e6. Here, we play the Tarash variation. Now, I do like the Tarash. One of the first openings I learned online since coming back to chess is I skipped 9th through 12th grade, or 14 to 18 age years. Not age years was not a very good sentence, but that's how long I didn't play chess. So this is one of the first things I learned when I came back. The problem with the Tarash, for me at least, because I'm sure there's a way to go about it and I'm just not good enough, is a light square bishop. So I do know this, but playing an opening in the final round where my light square bishop is a non-factor was a decision, I'll say. Like, I don't know why I went into that. But I make a mistake here. I go g6, they bring their bishop, bring my queen, and they bring their queen here. Fianchetto, although I should have taken the pawn, which is frustrating because I usually do. So I don't know why I was playing differently. I think it's because I was nervous with the fact I'm going 4-0 potentially. But I go h6, bishop back, pawn forward, and now I'm just making mistakes. What I'll say for here, even in the game, if it makes you feel better or makes me feel better, I thought this was kind of, I didn't know it was the best move. I didn't feel it was the best move, but I ended up going there because I was thinking maybe long term they can't go bishop there. Very bad thought process, but it was what I was thinking. They go queen over, I go pawn here to h5, they go bishop here to g2, pawn to a5, pawn to a4, knight down, castles, and knight to f5. Now the knight to f5, I'm like, okay, not bad, but I'm always thinking about this bishop being a non-factor. I'm basically down a bishop right now. I'm -2, feels like I should be minus more. They go bishop g5, I castle, pawn to h3, rook here to e8, pawn here to g4, captures, and knight back. Now, in this position, I'm kind of losing it. I'm like, dude, because, I should give some context. We're up 6.5, 5.5 at this point. We need to just tie them and we win the game. If we go 2-2, we win. If we actually lose 2.5, 1.5, We go to overtime. We end up losing. We lose 3-1. It was just a rough round for us, honestly. But yeah, they go bishop here, but I didn't know this, so I said that to say, I'm thinking, and all my power, I gotta win. I have to win this game, because if I don't win this game, my team have to go 2 out of 3, and I'm like, I would rather put it in my hands and not, because 2 out of 3 is like 67% if you round up, 66.7. That's a pretty high percentile my team would have to hit. So my thought process, if I win, it becomes 1 out of 3, and now it's only a 33% chance, or 33% that we have 33% of the available points they have to get, which is a lot more reasonable versus getting a majority. It's not happening, but it's still a better statistical chance. I don't know. I take statistics and I know a little bit. I feel like I butchered that explanation, but hopefully you understood what I was trying to say. I was trying to give our team the best chance numerically by winning this game, so I'm kind of worried in this position. I go knight to h7, they go bishop to f3. I bring my queen back, a move that's a mistake. I think I play that again, regardless of what the computer says. I don't. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I at least understood what I was thinking. Get more pieces on this side of the board. They bring their king forward. They bring their knight. I bring my knight to c6. They go rook over to h1, pawn to g5. They take, I take, and queen slides over. Now this is a mistake, and I mess up back. Now, I actually thought here they could have just gone knight here. Yeah, it's not bad. Well, it loses their advantage, but it's not losing because of how the position is oriented. This just is not horrible. Because after here, knight g3 captures, bishop xd5. It's just a very, I didn't see this part, but I just saw the knight part. Like, this makes sense. When they went here, I'm like, huh, seems a little bit off. Oh man, sorry. I have allergies, and yeah, sorry about that. But where are we at? So bishop x. If I can just click on move bishop d7, and they take with the bishop. And here I messed up and take the bishop. Now this was being short side. I should have done this. I didn't because of this. But my issue here is I was too focused on that pawn, and I played a bad move. I'll take the bishop back. They go knight there. I take, pawn forward, captures. And this whole time you can see they're pretty low on time, so I'm not too worried. Oh, it's 5 plus 2. I know they have a lot of time to think. I'm trying to use my advantage to that. I tried to set small little traps. They can't do this because of rook over, and they would lose the queen. So they go knight back. I trade rooks. I go rook here, and now I'm like, all right, even what they didn't have, they had 6 minutes. I could probably win because the knights are going to get connected soon. The rook could come forward. There's no longer an attack here. They go rook in. No knight here. They lose on time, but they would have lost anyways probably. They go rook back, just rook up. But yeah, that's the tournament. I went 4-0 in the CCO. Maybe I should have made them separate videos, but I just like making what I like to make. So maybe it would have been smarter, but I thought it was cool to do all 4-1. So if you like that, please show the support to the channel. Subscribe, like, share, comment. This is the second post of it, so I understand that people don't click on it quite as much, but the audio was so bad I had to remake it. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you had a good one. Have a good one.